You're listening to Information Man. You're listening to Information Man. You're listening to Information Man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Information Man. I'm waiting for folks to come on into the chat room. I got a very special guest with us. Brother Kellen Cash. I'm going to wait for more folks to come in, brother, and then give you the proper introduction.
Okay. However it comes, if they catch it live, or if they have to push replay, we're ready.
A lot of folks will catch it on replay, but folks are going to be coming in little by little, and we'll get started in just a moment.
Sounds good.
Here we go. I want to say welcome to Be Fresh. Thank you. Madonna, thank you for being in the chat room. I'm sure more folks will come in as the program goes along. We're going to play this out, and then I'm going to get into the program because we have my man Kellen Cash with me. Brother is from Seattle. He's very dynamic. He is involved in public relations. He's an entrepreneur. That's right. We get on these YouTube channels and we talk a lot of stuff about Black people having their own their own businesses, this and that. Well, I'm talking to a man today on the channel who is about this and that because he is an entrepreneur. This brother is doing it 100%. Now, I had a chance to talk to him a little bit because he represents various YouTubers, big YouTubers that you may be familiar with. Phil of the Abai Show being one of them. And this brother, I first discovered him when he was on Search for Uhuru. Now, those of you out there remember just not too long ago, I interviewed Search for Uhuru right here on this platform, maybe just a week ago. And the brother's very dynamic, and I use that word quite a bit because it fits. And I discovered brother Kelly Cash on the brother's show. And I said, damn it, I got to get this brother on this program because he's saying some things that Black folks need to hear. We always talking about, I'm going to say it, I'm going to repeat it again. We're always talking about supporting Black businesses. We're always talking about Black folks don't have this and we don't have that. And this is a brother that is an entrepreneur. He's very dynamic. We've talked about travel, how Black men, Black women, Black people, we need to get in on the game and invest in places like Africa. Okay, and I did a video called Why African Americans Are Traveling or Moving to Africa. And since doing that video, that is a video that has really blown, I want to say modestly, has blown me a lot of following. And I've had people on there give me comments saying, don't go to Africa, it's a bad place. Why do you want to go over there? See, that's the negativity. We got to get out of that Tarzan mentality because white folks are going over there investing. We know the Chinese are all over there investing. So what's the problem with Black folks in America? Okay, get out of your village mentality and open up your mind. That's why I always use the slogan to open up one's mind. Open up your mind and travel. and see the world. And if you do have money to invest, invest. Okay. Now, brother Kellen Cash, I've heard him say that one of the problems is that a lot of us, if we don't have the money, if we're not doing big business, then we don't really understand what's going on internationally when we're just living in our own village communities. Hell, this brother, and I'm going to get into it with him, he's from the Bay Area like myself. Now, with that said, let me fire us up live on Speaker.com. We're going live on there. I hit the button, the magic button, and I'm about to introduce this brother. I'm trying to make a little bit more time for folks to come in the chat room. I know the family will be with me. I hope True Royal Family's out there. Hope Cap's out there. I hope Oyapo's out there. I hope Brother Duvian is out there. Hope wherever you are, get your black butts over here quickly as possible for this program. And I know there are going to be those that are going to be listening later. And I know there's those who don't necessarily have a YouTube account, but they still listen from afar. Now, the goal of this program now is that, like I told y'all the other day, I'm trying to get away from doing all this celebrity talk nonsense. You know, I did a video about Drake and his buffoonery. And I want to get more into what we're doing here, interviewing brothers and sisters that are doing it. They're not just talking, they're doing it. And this brother that I brought, that I have graciously witnessed him on Search for Uhuru's program, and I contacted him. And you know what? This brother was not arrogant. This brother didn't give me this cold shoulder treatment like talk to my secretary. That's the problem with some black folks when they get up in here in business, they begin to become like secretaries. Now, I heard him speak about that sometimes it is important to have people that are sort of the guardians when you become sort of high up in the stratosphere. You do need to have guardians of the gate for yourself. But I have to thank this brother that he was humble. He talked to me like I was any brother. You know, just a regular brother, and he was willing to say, hey, you know what, I'll come on your show, brother. I can give you some time. Okay, he didn't give me the cold shoulder treatment. And this is a brother that's doing, you know, big time business with his firm, you know, in public relations. And I'm going to introduce him. All people were coming in, so I'm going to get into the introduction and let this brother speak for himself. But I just had to give those words because I told y'all folks, I'm going to keep grinding and keep searching and bringing people to you. I want to bring black folks in business, black folks in exercise, science, everything, teaching, education, government, everywhere I can find them. And I still haven't even started to pluck into my resources through my fraternity. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. I know it's the boule, but guess what? I got connections into black folks that are doing some heavy things through my organization that I'm going to bring aboard. And that's just the way it is. I'm going to keep pushing the envelope. And I hope y'all enjoy that music. I'm about to slow that down and stop that because you know who this is. This is the Information Man. And I want to introduce my guest. If I'm saying his name correctly, I'm sure he'll correct me. Kellen Cash. The brother has a YouTube channel. So I definitely, after this is over, you need to get your butts over there and subscribe to his channel as well after you dig what he's got to say. And with that said, I'm going to give this brother a thunderous clap. Brother Cash, brother. Thank you for being with me.
What's going on, brother? Yeah, there's no high and mighty. You got to talk to this person over here. Just a regular brother trying to do it, man, doing it. So yeah, we don't have any of that. You know, we always have time for our people, especially when it's the Information Man, because they, you know, they got to get it. They got to get it. So thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you, brother. This is how we're gonna start this out, brother. Let's go to your modest beginnings before we get into what you do for a living. The folks that you ride with and fly with and do your thing with. Tell us, where are you from, by the way? Your age, brother, if you don't mind, if you're a family man, where you from? What got you to Seattle and where you are right now, brother? Give it to us.
Okay, yeah. So I try to give you the short version, but originally from Okanda, That's East Oakland, whatnot. For those who say, "Where's Okanda at?" What? That sounds familiar. Grew up in the Bay Area, saw the best of both worlds in Oakland. Saw money in the Bay, saw poverty in the Bay, and that's what keeps me humble, because my life was quite, I say, privileged. Whatever hard times we may have had, they weren't for long, right? As far as money wise, and I've been able to be blessed by the best, a believer always, a follower of the Holy Scriptures, whatnot. And I'm also just a man, so a reformed heathen, I tell people, because I'm I'm no better than anybody else. Have two kids, London and Sydney. LondonandSydney.com is one of our ventures that we do. It's a children's book, whatnot, for those who, I'm always ready because I'm in PR, right?
That's right.
It looks like that. Little children's book for the kids, real animation, nothing to play with. Ron Bryan is our illustrator, black man out of Florida. Layout done by my brother in this, Brandon Richardson, and my wife and I. We wrote this together, and we have a whole series of books ready to come out as long as we have the money, the time, and it's being blessed, and the people are requesting it in their libraries, at their bookstores, and of course buying it on Amazon, etc., etc. But I'm a person who I never fit in, as far as when we were going to school and what they were telling us. I wasn't an excellent student until I went to the Harvard of the South, Grambling. And I went to Grambling because I got kicked out of a private school in Kansas, and there's a story in that. But I was trying to give you the short version. But just a humble person. I've been able to live in about 5 to 8 states, depending on what you consider, living. My family and I travel probably. We relocate every 4 to 6 years because of work. What brought me to Seattle was my wife got a job offer in Seattle, and my mother was sick. So we took this so we could easily go see her while she was living, whatnot. And and she could come see us as well, because cancer is one of those things that, my mother never drank, smoked, or did any of that, but it still hit her. So, cancer is one of these things. It's like it's running through this whole country, right? Because Africa's not seeing it like this. Wow. So I'm just one man, one grain of sand, trying to stick to my plan and purpose, and try to do as much entrepreneur business, because I make a terrible employee, but I make an excellent person to hire. We've never been fired from like a client as far as, work. Clients may in their business, they may retire, but they keep us, and I pride ourselves in that, because that means we're doing something right in business, and we're being of value to people. Because public relations is one of those things a lot of folks don't even know what that is, except that big companies have it. But all companies need PR, but all companies don't budget any money to push, and the game is changing. So I'm just one person, brother.
Well, let me just say something. You are just one person, brother, but sometimes one person can change the world. I have a philosophy that if you can change one mind, you can change the world. When I was in college, I went to San Francisco State University. I was involved in a tutorial program in Sunnydale Housing Project area of San Francisco, along with some of my fraternity brothers. And we started working in a vacant building, just working with the kids. And then eventually, as brothers graduated and got upper mobility, we did some grant writing and got some money to create a boys and girls club there. Then they have a program, I think it still stands there, to work with youth that are coming out of the juvenile system. And what happened is, as brothers start to move on in their life, the community pretty much took the program over, which they should have. And they pretty much ran with it, and they're thriving. One of the things I noticed is that don't underestimate what you would call the thugs in our community, if you want to label them as that, because a lot of the gangsters are those that were in the street life. They knew what we were doing, working with the kids. And they said, don't nobody mess with the alphas. Don't touch them. Don't touch their cars. Don't mess with them. Because they respected what we were doing, because we didn't come in the community preachy. So And the kids that I worked with at that time, most of them are in college, are going off to some type of trade school, and we contribute to helping these kids reform, rechange, and shape their life and where it was going to go, because we were Black men who came in with a different narrative, let them see Black men from a different perspective that could transform their lives. And then along with my organization, we have scholarships. We give out thousands, probably millions of dollars of scholarships in a year from students. So I'm just let you know, I'm not a brother who's just in this room that you see I'm in playing around with this stuff. I may talk a lot of stuff, but there's stuff that I've actually done that I've actually put foot to ground with. You got a lot of cats on YouTube, and I'm not disparaging anybody, but they do a lot. They do some talking, but their resume, they don't put foot to ground and really get out there and work in the community and work with youth, kids, which I think are our future. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm going to keep saying that. They're not really doing anything. Now, what you're doing with that book that you created, you're educating our youth. I have a daughter, 10 years old. She needs to have books that reflect who she is. One time my daughter was looking at TV and she kept talking about some blonde hair on, Disney. I kept saying, baby, your hair is beautiful. Matter of fact, your dark hair, my daughter has dreadlocks, is beautiful. It's better than that blonde hair. Your hair is melanated, God-given. So you don't need to think that you don't need to marginalize yourself. Black folks, we have a problem in which we will marginalize ourselves, we'll underestimate ourselves, and we'll undervalue ourselves. And white people do it to us, and we do it to ourselves. It's called cultural conditioning, brother. So I want to thank you for what you said.
Oh yeah, yeah. And anybody who, as far as the book, you can we have it in paperback, hardcover, and the French version is about 2 days from coming out. You can request it from your library for free, the hardcover. You get all the information off Amazon. So even if you don't want to buy a book, see a book, get a book. It's also on YouTube. Do a little research, but we want to we've created that book for that same reason.
Yes.
And so, and you said a lot. You said a lot in there when you're talking about YouTubers who aren't doing anything. And that's a big, I don't want to say issue, because everybody has their purpose. I just want to let people know some of your favorite controversial YouTubers, all they do is talk. And when we call them up and say, hey, why don't you come be a part of this, what we're doing? People say, nah, I'm good just doing it on YouTube. So they're just, some people are only the mouthpiece. But even if you look at the Advise Show has a nonprofit. He's been feeding the people in Houston during the hurricane. So, you give it up and support your folks who are renting trucks and working with different organizations in Houston, even though he doesn't highlight everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot. And people are pushing, people are pushing, but we love all of our YouTubers, whatnot. And, if you guys, I'll just say this because it'll be off my mind as a PR person. One of my favorite YouTubers is Dr. Tina of CNA to MD. And you can go to cna2md.com and how you can become a nurse of different levels, because the nursing ranges, right, and make more money. So if you're making $30,000 right now and you want to learn how to make $60,000, Dr. Tina has a program that's been perfected. And I'm totally biased on that because that's not just my favorite client, that's my wife right there. And we are putting some, people who never thought they'd make a certain amount of money, they're making it now.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna remind everybody, brother, I don't need to remind everybody, I'm gonna let you do it. Brother Kellen Cash is involved in PR, and he does represent prominent YouTubers. We're going to get into some deep issues around what's going on with Black YouTubers, as everybody knows in the chat room and everyone listening, that Black YouTubers have been under attack. We're going to get to that. But what I need from you, Brother Cash, right now is to let everybody know how you got into the business that you got into and explain what exactly that you do. Because you are an entrepreneur, you're in public relations as one of the things that you do. But how did you get there? What was the light bulb that turned on?
Okay, so like many folks, we grew up with TV. I remember having a black and white TV. I remember putting the video games, you know, play video games on one, watch TV on another. And something that my parents had told me were it's one thing to watch something, it's another thing to actually create. And so growing up, I always would write, even in middle school. You know, I'd write my own short stories, poems, whatever. But I also wrote for the newspaper, and it was, you know, it was a little kids newspaper. But I went to school in my later years. I was pretty much one of the very only few minorities. If you know anything about Concord, California, Walnut Creek, whatnot.
Oh man,
yeah, I was right there, and so.
Wow,
So I got to see Wakanda for everything that it was worth and hear the gunshots and all that. But I also got to relax at a life, but it wasn't relaxation. I remember having a fight because people like to touch the part in your hair and they didn't know what that was. Now you got everybody putting a part in their hair, you know, because we run this culture, right? We run popular culture as Black people.
That's right.
In America. So
that's right.
How I got there was knowing what worked on TV and movies and what I liked. And I was a terrible student because the way they teach in school, that's a whole nother thing we could go on. That might be for another time, but the way they teach isn't the way it's not effective. These schools are babysitters. So I graduated with like a 1.9 GPA. But I had a fast 40, so I could still go to college, right? Somebody picked me up. And I got kicked out because of school not paying the bill. There's a longer story to that, but let's just say, you know what? I don't want to run track because I ain't never ran track, and my parents are going through their own issues. No one paid the bill. Mm-hmm. I had to work at a gas station and a shoe store. One gas station at night, shoe store during the day, so I could earn some money to go back to college. And I did that for a short amount of time, but I picked up a magazine called Explosive Magazine out of Pittsburgh, California.
Wow.
I got on Pittsburgh right before I went to the Harvard of the South, Grambling State University, and I'm going to keep saying that. So if anybody from Southern is there, I said the Harvard of the South. but it's all good, right? But before I went to Grambling, I started writing for Explosive Magazine. Ron Hood, a brother who gave me a chance to write. And by the time I was done bringing magazines to Louisiana, I had other magazines saying, you know, we want you to write for us, because I was doing press junkets at the Cash Money Mansion Millionaire. I'd interviewed Lil Wayne and Baby more times than I ever wanted to in my life. And so I was connected and people wanted those stories. So as a publicist, once you start writing for many publications, the next step is, how do you make more money? Because I was making a little bit of money while in school. Keep in mind, my rent was at most $250, $250 for rent. Food is cheaper down south. So I'm able to write stories, but then magazine game took a dip. And I always loved how Vicki Charles at Universal, how she got down. That woman had a lot of game and she shared game with me. So I said, let me get into this PR thing. I'm a walking billboard already. I know a lot of people. I can get my clients in. I became doing PR. One of my team members, Raru out of Atlanta, she told me one time, she said, Kellen, you don't even do PR. She said, you're like a consultant. She's like, you should be higher paid because you do stuff, you get in your client's business. She's like, all we do is put them on. She does unit publicity, which is for movies. Hot Chocolate Media, shout out. And
let me stop you right there. Hold your point. I've got to grab something real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Real quick.
No problem. I might entertain the audience. I'm gonna be looking at you guys' comments.
I got what I needed, brother.
But, you got them? Okay, I was gonna just talk to the audience real quick.
Make sure nobody stole my stuff here. I got a headset that I need to get. Boom! I just heard the bell and I said, boom, let me get that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Sorry about that. Let's get back on track here. So you're giving us the evolution of what took you eventually to what you're doing now, which is PR.
PR is what I'm doing. PR and consulting. Okay. We are a full service firm. We replace marketing departments if they have the budget.
Wow. Okay, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. Um, so from there, how did you eventually become what you are today, which is an entrepreneur?
I
You work for yourself.
just kept pushing and doing PR. They have a couple nicknames for me,
Okay.
and one of them is the last straight man in PR. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of men in PR, and there surely aren't a lot of black men in PR. And I'll just, to be nice, end it like that because we don't want to. I don't ever want to offend. But if you are men, a lot of times they, what they say, they're homosexual guys, and everybody can have their different experience.
Yeah.
But that's what I guess kind of makes me unique. Plus, we're not ever scared. What brought me into doing it for myself is, honestly, I've tried to work with in the past with the big companies. They're not hiring us. They're hiring white women and white men and Asian people sometimes, and they'll hire maybe a black female. But it's kind of like that nursing stigma that there used to be. There weren't men nurses. Black men doing PR. Let me tell you, I was at a Rotary meeting one time, and I had a guy who was 90 years old, and he told me we need more PR of color.
Okay.
Of color, and I was like, we might as well need more Negro, but I didn't take offense to it because he was 90 and I knew what he was saying, and he's right. We do have PR of color, but everyone's just so small doing their own thing. What makes us unique is we're kind of like Voltron. For those who can remember Voltron, we piece up because I don't necessarily want to have a bunch of employees in any of my businesses. My goal is to make entrepreneurs. Even with my clients, we're making entrepreneurs. So if I'm going to hire you, let me hire your business because I don't want you to ask me when you can take off. Like Dame Dash says, I don't want you calling me daddy and when your lunch break is. Your lunch break is when you want to take it.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So that's how I got into it. It was that I was probably unhireable, even though I always had clients, even in our Grambling days. So why go work for somebody when they don't want you? Then they want to pay you what I could pay myself. And you got to, listen to all this. Oh, you can't say this. You can't say that. I have had jobs in PR. Don't get it twisted, but I've always been politely let go.
Let me ask you a question, brother, if you don't mind me asking.
Go ahead.
You said that in PR, and I read some stuff. I did some research. I was going on to Google, and it did say that PR is heavily dominated in general by women, particularly white women.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sister that I ran across her page where she talked about what is it like going into PR as a black person, particularly a black woman. And you said that they usually will have sometimes a black woman, as front, how they use some of us as token. And a token is the only value that a token has is the value that the person that gives it to you puts on it, what they value. You have lapdogs. When they get sick of using you, then they discard you, which is what happened to Omarosa, who was supposed to be a so-called PR person for the black community for Donald, and I call him Chunk. But with that said, what is going on? Why is it that black men are not being perceived well from your perspective and experience in PR? Is it simply based on race, color, the melanation of our skin, or what is it? What is it, brother?
It's a couple things. One, PR is something where you need to be able to convey your point, not just in talking, but in writing, right? All black folk are great talkers, but the way they cut us off sometimes is in the writing. Now, our press releases are pristine, and that's not the problem with us. I know personally, when I come into a room, I don't take any mess. I'm joking all the time, but I'll check you in a second. Now I'm a 200 solid. I'm solid. People don't believe I'm 200. 200 solid. I look like I might have, done a couple laps and win a couple rounds in the boxing ring. So, and plus I always have, shades or my my tinted glasses because my eyes are very sensitive to light, right?
Yes.
And I've gone into tech companies and I've worked for them, got them 30 placements in less than 2 months. But this first time that I tell them, hey, I'm not a shipping guy, my job isn't in shipping, they let me know, even though I've gotten praise, hey, you're not willing to go the extra mile. It's not that we're not willing to go the extra mile, but it's that I got Forbes and the Wall Street Journal on the line and I got to go meet them for lunch. If you want to talk about me shipping, I'm not a shipping guy. That's not what I do. I'm a PR guy.
But see, you know what that is, brother? That's called cultural conditioning, because you know the history of particularly black people or black men. When they first allowed us to be in the military, what did they do to us? They put us in the kitchen. They made us do manual labor, sweeping, cooking, pick this up and pick that up. And so it's been my perception that when you are a black male and black woman and you are quote unquote professional or corporate or have a certain degree of education and you have a professional certification, as I have, I work in, by the way, just to let you know, I work in psychology. Mm-hmm. I deal with guys in the California prison system by way of mental health. So I see when you talk about murderers, serial killers, gang bangers, all these kind of individuals, I deal with them in face up. Okay. And I'm dealing with, at any given time, I could be talking to a guy who's got a swastika on his face. Okay. A straight up white supremacist. We talk about white supremacy on these airwaves, right? On the YouTube, right? Brother, I deal with these people in their face. And the thing that's funny is that when they're incarcerated behind bars, guess who they're dependent on? They're dependent on this Negro. Yeah. They're saying, Mr. Such and such, can you come here? I got to talk to you. Mr. This and that. They're humbled real fast. They're real fast when they got to confront me in a position of authority and power at that time. So what I'm trying to say to you is that even in my professional experience in the work that I do, I have run across people, white people, whoever, who will marginalize me and think that because I work in an environment where most people, the most contact that they're having with black people is black people that are incarcerated. And so what happens is when they deal with me as a black male who's a professional, they will try to project me as if I'm wearing blues and I'm wearing California corrections on my back. Okay. That's the industrial complex system. So, and I get this usually by those groups, I'm going to keep it real, white people who feel that I'm a black male, so I should be playing basketball or dribbling or I should be dancing and singing and doing some type of damn minstrel show. Hell no. Okay. So
hey, they don't just do that to you. They do it to physicians. I can't tell you how many times my wife has been asked to take out the trash. You're talking about as an NP. You're to the point where her supervisors have had to tell whole departments, this is a resident doctor. So they do it to everybody, not just us in this position. Now a lot of people say they do PR though. This is the other thing about public relations. They may know how to write a press release. Everything else that comes with public relations, they don't know how to do. And there's a lot of folks who are claiming they're a fraud. So that's why you don't see a ton of black folks, men especially, at the big companies like Wagner, just because everyone says they do PR with a degree or not a degree. By the time I was doing my master's, I was teaching class on different.
Wow.
So, and I did that because Dr. Murray, a white man at Grambling, great man, great. He told me, he said, Kellen, I don't know how to build these websites, and I heard you guys are building them. He's like, but they put me in this class, and I've been teaching it for like a year or so. I don't know how to do it. Will you teach the class? And of course, I'm getting paid by Grambling State to do something extra, and I just took that on because he was a great teacher, because he taught me some things, not just about the classroom, but about life and where the future is going to go. And when you talk about those skinheads and them Klansmen, I've worked in CPS as an investigator. I've been a trainer as well, psych hospitals, all those racist things go in your staff. they go under the water when they need you. Because I've had those same Klansmen ask me, can you not take my child? And my thing was, I'm not taking anybody's child unless it's meth.
That's right.
It's meth, you got to go. And I took 3 kids in a whole career. And but it's those racist things. I've interviewed the Klan and skinheads with shotguns on their walls, and I've never had a problem with those families at all. So it's all about respect. Now people can tell usually I'm from what you think I'm from. Whatever game you think I was in, that was me. Whatever vibe you get, please believe that was what it was, and I don't have to tell you anymore. So I don't usually have those issues because we meet crazy head on. You know, I keep, and I show this and the other show.
Yeah, brother, stop right there. Yeah. That was another thing I wanted to get into with you about. I agree with you 100%. Every black man should get this. Say what that is, brother. You speak upon it.
This is a body cam right here.
Yes.
I use the Mui Fly as my personal one. This is great for every black man in America and every traveler, because even when you're in the moment and you can't break this thing, even when you're in the moment.
Fix your computer or whatever instrument you're using.
Yeah,
I want everybody to see that. Put it up there again. Let me show you.
And it has a little screen on the back. You can go get this on Amazon. I should probably get an affiliate link. I talk about this thing so much, but this is not a paid endorsement, YouTube. So don't demonetize. Monetize the live stream. Let the brother get everything he needs to get. Yeah. But the Mui Fly body cam, it can go up to, some say 7 hours. I've heard one guy tell me 12 hours.
Yes.
But even if you're at a concert or an event and you don't want to be holding up your phone, this thing just clips on. I usually keep it on my waist, but it'll clip on anywhere, and it shoots in 1080p. And I think we all need this. So there's 2 stories to tell, because you were talking about YouTube. They were trying to kill Tariq. They were trying to kill Tariq when they came to his house, and because others have been killed like that. And that's what they wanted. Zach got killed, and we don't know. People are saying, okay, it was gang members, because that's the easy way to go. But we don't know who killed Zach, right? Until
let me stop you right there. Can you remind everybody who may not be familiar with Zach TV, and there's some folks in the chat room who may, but some people that may not. Can you explain exactly who this brother is?
Yeah, a YouTuber with about 179,000 subscribers who went around the Chicago neighborhood interviewing the local artists who, the big time media weren't going to get to yet, because they were hood rich, they were hood stars. And so he was interviewing everybody, around there, and he got popped. Now there's rumors of why he got popped and this and that, but don't let the rumors fog the message. The man got killed for doing some positivity on YouTube and connecting with this city. Many people are like, well, why was he in the hood anyway?
Okay.
It's the wrong message. We ain't gonna let them twist the propaganda. So that's my thoughts on that. So he was doing some good work. Tariq, if you don't know the story, go to Tariq Radio, Hidden Colors. I see my DVDs up here. The way the trolls swatted him, that could happen to anybody at any time. And I'm so glad. My thing is how the helicopters were already up in the air before Tariq even came out of his house. They thought they were going to get something.
Well, I overheard you tell, and I want to remind everybody real quick, what that brother just showed you earlier is a body cam. So if you get stopped by the police, black men, black women, and the police stops you, you can turn that body cam on, and now you can control the story, and don't let that be his story, okay? Don't let it be their story. When it comes time to something happens, you got evidence. If you're not able to get to your camera phone and they knock that camera phone out of your hand or something, you got the body cam. If you're in a situation, because you got this Me Too movement that's just trying to destroy every black man that's out here, and you have that body cam on you and you're dealing with someone, and you want to be able to say, hey, I did not rape her. I wasn't sexually harassing her, or I wasn't behaving in this way. The cop lied and said I was pulling for it. Well, a lot of times, if they think you're pulling for a gun, they're going to shoot you. But That's very important. You said you can get that from Amazon, brother?
Amazon, and I even got the little 4-year warranty in case it goes bad for additional $15. But this is under $200 purchase.
I think I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, it's the best one that I had found. I did a lot of research, and also not even just for the police, but there may be a time, you may, again, you were talking about Me Too. But for those who are defending themselves, even if you, especially in California, you shoot a criminal coming into your house, you probably going to jail that day.
That's right.
Because of the laws. There is no castle law in California that's going to protect you like it does in Texas and Florida that I know of.
Yeah, I understand in California, we have the right to purchase guns, but once you discharge the weapon, I had an officer, a brother at my job, tell me this. Once you discharge that weapon, you're in a lot of trouble. A long time ago when I was a kid, my mom had a licensed gun, and the police officer at that time, we're talking about, early 80s, man. At that time, I was a kid, but the police officer told her that if you do have to shoot an intruder that's running away from you, simply drag his body back in the house.
Yeah, that's something they teach you in a shooting class. If anyone's ever taken a gun class, and this is why the police do it, you're supposed to shoot to kill.
Yes.
There cannot be two stories in America because you are going to get sued and they are probably going to win on something. So that's why when the police shoot, they shoot to kill. And when anybody shoots, you're supposed to shoot to kill.
Now,
it's the wound.
I've always talked about you would have complete gun control in this country as it relates to these semi-automatic weapons with these school shootings if every black person went out and purchased guns legally. And I'm going to tell you why. Do you remember what happened in California? Yeah. I'm a Generation Xer, so I'm about 48 years old. But remember, I remember this history. You know the history behind why
Black Panther.
The Black Panthers, at one point in time in California, you could walk around with your gun out. The Black Panthers went up to Sacramento, California, where I'm not that far from right now, with their guns. But what they did is they didn't put a bullet in the chamber. They used it as a symbol, a symbolic symbol. And Ronald Reagan, with his racist self, when he witnessed that, he went buck wild. And white folks in California said, "Oh my God, we can't have black folks walking around with guns." So they create a law that stated that you could not have your guns out where everyone could see it. And matter of fact, even if you do have a legal gun and you bring it in your car, you're not supposed to have a bullet in the chamber at all. You have to have no bullets in there. And what's crazy about that is if someone's attacking you, how the hell are you going to have time to get to your bullets, to put in the gun in your... You're a dead person by that time. So California is real funny like that. They'll legalize marijuana, right? And let the white boys get rich off of it while you got black men that are in jail right now because they're in there on drug sales. I'll tell you right now, the majority of black men that are incarcerated in California, I've saw the numbers, so I know this, are incarcerated not because they killed someone, but because of drug possession, drug sales, or maybe violating their parole because they didn't get a job or they got caught with drugs or in the wrong neighborhood because of the complexion of their skin. Okay, that's why. You had the police in New Oakland, California, and you know this well, brother, called the Riders, who were going around harassing black males in West Oakland and over in East Oakland. And they were particularly targeting black men that they knew were coming out of prison, trying to get their lives together. And they would harass them, put drugs on them and get them back in, take money from them, plant drugs on them. So there is an all-time attack on us because, as Jason Black says, and he's coming out with his race war movie, we are in a race war. We can say that there's white supremacy. We can say that there's racism. The word we really should be using right now is that we are in a race war and we are behind enemy lines. As Neely Fuller Jr. says, we're behind enemy lines, and that's why we're going to have black men getting shot and period like this. And this is why Tariq got treated the way he did in his house. Those police officers in that community know who the hell he is.
Oh yeah,
they know who he is. He's living in a gated community.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
They knew what was up, and we know what's up. But the real question, I want to switch the narrative on how we even talk, because we do some international dealings as well, and Africa is one of those places to me that's a second home, if not going to be my first, right? But just same way we're getting Africa off saying we live off $1 a day.
Yeah.
Please help us. Black people here from everywhere you are and you black, we need to stop complaining and start doing. Because I have a theory. If we all just invested one property, it could just be acreage, which you can get for less than $5,000 in most places.
Wait a minute, stop right there. I want you to, for the effect of what you just said, brother, repeat what you just said.
If we all bought a place overseas, just one plot of land where we have an alternative, that means we all have our passport and a plot of land somewhere else. Africa's maybe not for you, but you might like going to Mexico. You might like going to Canada. Yeah, there's the passport.
There's the passport. I'm not just talking, folks. Here's my passport. Real deal stuff here.
Yeah.
Get your passport. Don't be afraid to travel.
Yes.
Get out of this matrix we call America. I've got a lot of traveling to do. I got a lot of places I gotta go. I'm 48 years old. I gotta get my butt out of the village mentality. But it starts with this. It's the same thing that Brother Dynasty told me. He said, you know what? You already started the first start of the game. It starts first step in your process by getting your damn passport. That's right.
That is the first step. And once you get that, go check out flying.com that Dynasty is always putting out there and promoting. He need a check from them. Because that brother's flown to Africa for $300 round trip.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, and I have other friends who have confirmed that they've gotten trips for $500 round trip to South Africa and different things. And so if we all get our passport, if we all invest in one plot of land, which you can have a plot of land anywhere in the world, if you have a business, especially a sole prop, nothing fancy, just open up your sole prop, buy the land in the business name, and I bet you America start treating us different when we leave or have the option to leave, because they're nervous right now. There was an article that said Black people in America spent 48, I believe it was $1 million traveling overseas.
Stop right there, brother. I recently did, if you look on my YouTube channel, I did a video about travel groups. There's a beautiful sister named Nicole Ali. She has a YouTube channel, so subscribe to her, check her out, everybody. And everybody, a lot of folks in the chat room know who she is. We did a collaboration where we talked about Black travel groups. And what you just quoted was something that we stated in the video about Black people in the buying power. Now, I listen to sometimes, there's a sister named Lavette Carnett called Breaking Brown. And she says that despite Black people having education, going to colleges, it hasn't really equated to us having overall wealth, because most of us come from, our ancestors were slaves and they had to catch up, where white folks, you know, they were way ahead of us because they were able to create generational wealth. But at the same time, Black people have shown that we are some of the biggest consumers. And it is a problem that we do have, that we consume more than we own. But here you are, a brother who is saying, I'm going to smash past that stereotype or that situation, and I'm going to become an entrepreneur. What you are doing right now, brother, is you are creating that generational wealth for your children, your offspring, when you are not even on this planet anymore. But I just had to say that. I don't mean to cut you off. I had to say that to emphasize this. Now, brother, continue on with what you were saying about the spending power, the traveling to Africa. Go with it, brother. I had to say that little piece right there. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm not sorry. True Royal Family will kick my butt. I keep saying, there's a sister in the chat room. She may be in the chat room, named True Royal Family, and she has a YouTube channel. She's very, very powerful. And a lot of times when I'm on her live stream, she says, stop using words like you're sorry, you're this, you're that. Stop using words that undervalue yourself. You're not sorry. You're a king. Lift your head up. Go forward. So she's very inspirational.
Amen. Amen. Amen to that. No, getting the plot of land, getting the passport. Let's show America. Let's stop complaining. Any complaints we have will be null and void if we say we're out of here. We can go on YouTube and see people like Dynasty Mir, Life's Humble Hunt. That's a YouTube. They started about 4 or 5 months ago. They actually have said this publicly, so I repeat it, that they're making about $200,000 in Africa. If you don't understand what $200,000 in Africa is, go look at your bank account and see $200,000 in America.
Wow.
And then consider what your life would be if you're making 200,000 in America, and then 10 times that, where I'm going to Africa, half my summer will be spent in Africa. A driver will cost me less than $100 a month. A nanny will cost me less than $100 a month. A cook will cost less than $100 a month.
Wow.
All these things take time out of our day so we can do more, and it helps employ people, right? I'm not going to Africa to get no slaves. That's not what we do. I can go to Jamaica, stay on the resort, and I have to get off that day because I don't need black folks catering to me. But if I don't have to think about what I'm going to prepare for me and my 2 kids, which I do the primary care. My wife is extremely busy.
Yes.
Like another resident, 80, 100-hour weeks, whatnot.
Okay.
To $12 an hour, no matter where you are in the country, right? And we're in Seattle, where this life costs.
You ain't lying about that.
Yeah, and so I say, let's get the passports, get the land, get the businesses, because everybody who does that, I don't see them complaining as much. And this is why the bootleg, we see them do what they do, because they're living and they're eating. Some of us remember what it was to starve and share a McDonald's hamburger with 3 other people and cut
my God.
You know, in a small fry. But when you get out of that, and you can go to the grocery store and you can buy whatever you want, and you don't even look at the price because it looked good, that advertisement looked good. You know, you feel like you've made it and arrived, but you haven't until your brother can do the same thing, is my mentality. Because we have to, though, control our narrative. So let's stop using the words of what they're doing to us. What are we doing to each other? How many trips did we take? How many investments do we have? Right now, there's the Tulsa Fund, where Jay Morrison, he just went on Vlad TV saying for $500, you can do an investment. And, you know, you're in an investment with all these people, and, you know, you're doing all these good things. Put your $500 up. If you don't have any investment. Warren Ballantyne, the lawyer and radio host, syndicated. Now, I know he got in trouble a couple of years, but I rock with Warren because I don't think he did anything wrong, because he's just like you, the information man. He has his job, and we know, and I've been through it. I've been through the ringer myself. Yes. Your mom will try to twist you up in something, and now you done committed more felonies than you knew, and you got SWAT coming through your house. So what?
Let me just say something. I'm very familiar with Warren Ballantyne. I used to listen to him when he was on The Power. He used to come on The Power, which is now the Urban View with Joe Madison. And then I know he does some things on Radio One. I think he was doing some stuff on TuneIn Radio. I hear him on TuneIn Radio. I remember when that whole deal went down. You know who really had his back was Joe Madison of Sirius XM Radio. Joe Madison was giving him money and helping him out when he was going through this whole ordeal, man.
Good.
And so that's, to me, that's another example that when you have a black man trying to do something for our people, you will have those out there that will tear you down. And guess what? You know who could be sometimes our worst enemy? Our family members, and also other black people who are jealous and envy of you. I mean, you see it on YouTube when people are you know, they're growing as a channel, they're growing in what they're doing. You will have other black YouTubers talk about other black YouTubers like a dog. And I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying this. I've been observing YouTube for a long time. The white boys on YouTube have millions of subscribers. They're making a lot of money. They will collaborate with each other. They will market for each other. They'll do cross promotions. They will talk each other up, build each other up. And while they're making money, they're laughing at us because we Negroes on the plantation, or we get on YouTube, we argue and bicker with each other about this and that, all this gossip crap, while the white boys sit back and they collecting their dividends because they're working with each other while we're backbiting on each other. Now that's our problem. And folks may not like to hear that, but black folks, we be backbiting on each other too much. I'm just keeping it real.
That is our problem. You are 100% correct. And we can fix our problem once we recognize and repent and know our problem. But the other thing that we have to say in America is we are the minority. And we can look at YouTubers like Bounty Hunter D, who I subscribe to. And then he'll have Patty Mayo come on, and they came up together and they work together, and Patty's always in his video. Patty has over 1 million subscribers. Bounty Hunter D is at 450,
Wow.
whatnot. But that's because probably there's a whole bunch of white folks who can relate more in this country to Patty Mayo than to Bounty Hunter D. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a numbers game, right? Because if Bounty Hunter D started doing bounty hunting in Africa, through Africa and capturing people, there'd be even more people who say, wow. So we got to use strategy and not feel like a victim, because I ain't no victim. I'm a victor. You feel me? How am I a victim when my people look like the same people that all through the holy scriptures? I don't want to get on a religious tirade, but it is Sunday, so y'all gonna have to hear some sermon. That if you didn't hear it because you didn't go to church, and be honest, we missed this Sunday because we were, doing some stuff family-wise. But I like to have my kids in church so they can get some knowledge about something bigger than themselves. But if we look at the way the scriptures were and how everybody was a white this and a white that, we know that's not true. So let's create our own stories, right? Let's create our own cartoons. There are some out there now that show black pharaohs and different things. You can catch them on Amazon. I can't think of them off the top, but I have them on my Amazon. But we just have to do RP, because Bounty Hunter D is still making money and Patty Mayo is still making money, but it's a numbers game. And this situation is bigger than race, because if you go to Africa, you're still going to be a minority. And when you go to Africa and you don't want to learn the language, and you go to all of you guys who've been to South Africa and you don't know how to say Sabona, which Sabona is Zulu for hello. You don't know, you don't know how to do that, but you want to go to another country. Don't come to Africa not knowing how to get down with the language. When you're in Malawi, you better be like Muli Bonji and know what a matako is. If you don't know what a matako is, that's a booty.
Matako. Oh,
yeah, that's a booty.
Matako, look at that. Matako. Brother, let me ask you a question right here. Yeah. We might have a difference of opinion right here, and that's okay, because that's how life is. Mm-hmm. When I was listening to you on Brother Dynasty program, Search for Uhuru, and shout out to that brother. I love that brother. Mm-hmm. And what he does, he's inspired me to do what I'm actually trying to do right now, brother. Interview people and connect with folks. I remember listening to you the other day stating that Chinese have an international frame of way they think. They think internationally. We as Black people need to get out of our village mentality and think on an international level. Mm-hmm. One of the problems I do have with Chinese, knowing the history, is that I don't really believe, based on what I've seen in history, that the Chinese, and we do know that there was an African presence in China. There was an African presence in Japan. Matter of fact, the samurai had African ancestry. The word samurai actually devised from an African word. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of these samurais were of mixed heritage, particularly African. We were there. There are statues. If you go to Southeast Asia, there are statues and monuments that they don't want people seeing. That when you look at National Geographic and all of that, they purposely are not letting us see things that are recognizing the fact that there was a Black presence in these countries. Because I believe personally, when someone says, "Hey, you have Israel Hebrewites that will say, Black Hebrewites will say that Black folks in America don't come from Africa, that we come from North America," I argue and say that Black folks come from this whole goddamn planet. We're everywhere. Yeah. Every time they dig in, let's say Europe, they find out they see Black people's there. They go over to what we call Israel, which is a created society. They find Black bones in the ground. Everywhere in this world, when they get to digging, they keep finding the original people, Black people. And damn it, if they were to go to Mars and start digging, I contend and say to you and everybody listening that they might find some Black bones on Mars.
With some vibranium.
Well, brother, we are vibranium because, like I said before, there's a brother named Keith Newsom. You got to check him out. He talks about Black people. We come from dark matter. Dark matter comes from the black holes in space that created the universe that are made of melanin. that he doesn't believe that black people were created, that we come straight from the source of God. We are the walking incarnation of God, and that the black man and the black woman operate off of a high frequency, okay? A high vibrating frequency, that black is not just a color, that it is a frequency that we operate off of, which is why when a black man goes into space travel doesn't affect our bodies, okay? He talks about sun gazing, that you should be looking at the sun. You should be empowering your pineal gland, which is the third eye, which connects you to the dream state in your mind, in your body, connects you to everything around you. It absorbs everything around you. When you have what they call sixth sense, I call it seventh sense. Don't be afraid of that. When you told me, brother, when I interviewed you the other day, you said that at night you work late at night and you get a lot of things done because you think clearly. And I told you that's because the statics, the electronics that the Europeans have created in this world is interfering with your connection to the universe. And late at night, everything is quiet. And now you are connecting with the world, the universe that you're in, brother, that you are naturally connected to. We are human antennas connected. That's what those pyramids were that we see in Egypt and all the mound pyramids around the world. They are electro connections. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand it. You know, do the research, study it.
That's going to go over a lot of people. That's going to go over a lot of people's head. But I feel you. And I'm going to check out that Keith Newton thing. But
Keith Newsom, brother. Keith Newsom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like to argue about certain things because one, we're not supposed to, because if you know that the first black person came, or the first person came from Africa, and we know that they were black, then the argument's dead. Whether they
that's right,
or this and that, we know, like we know what we know, and we can see it. I said it the other day.
Yeah, we
can see in Fiji and Samoa how we our skin tones and how everything has spread. So we don't have to, you know, all respect to the Hebrew Israelites, but I don't have to worry about who's going to be in hell serving me. I'm not going to be in hell I'm not going to be in hell, right? That's not me. That's not for me, or whatever they say, because there's different fractions.
Well, right? Let me just say this. What brother, you just got Keith Newsom. He's out of Florida. Mm-hmm. This brother, like yourself, he has businesses in Africa. He has actually a radio program in Africa. He goes deep into the continent. So he gives information that we're not getting from the news. He has a network. It's called he likes to say Black Hot Fire. That's the name of the network. Black Hot Fire Network. He has a website. You can sign up for it. He has a matter of fact, on YouTube, they're always messing with him. They're always shutting him down here and there because he's telling too much truth. So this is a brother like yourself who he's an entrepreneur. He's got a business over in Africa. He's employing people. He's doing it. He's not just talking, right?
Yeah. But no, that's beautiful. No, I just mean with the whole, like, we fight too much about what one person believes and what another. Yes. So I'm gonna check him out because I don't know anything about
what he talks about is that we as black people, that we don't have to get caught up in whether there's a hell or there's a heaven, because the all-knowing power, God, the theta, doesn't really need it's complete. We are the walking embodiment of that theta, and we're trying to, black people, we're in a transition now where we're getting into awakening, right? Yeah. And as the solar system moves around, we're moving into this awakening. And what he says is that when you die, death is not to be something that you should mourn over. Death should be celebrated because you're not really dying. When you are a black melanated person, you go back to the dark matter. You don't go to the light. You go back to the source, which is the dark matter which you came from. So when we die, it should not be a ceremony of sadness, because it's a ceremony of that person that you loved is going back home to God, to the source.
And so what he's saying is what the Holy Scriptures, and I say the Holy Scriptures, some will say the Bible.
I hear you.
Yeah. Some might say, what does he mean, the Holy Scriptures? Like, that's something hidden. But in the Holy Scriptures, it tells you death is to be celebrated. And when people are born, you're supposed to cry.
Exactly.
So and that's where whatever one believes and it connects to their spirit, at the end of the day, do you not see people capturing the same message? But my only thing is, for those because we have YouTubers too who have all the answers. I don't have all the answers.
Yes.
But for those YouTubers who have all the answers and they know everything how to solve, let me look at their payroll for a month and see how many people they're paying. I used to do investigation. I know how to find stuff. And not just for CPS, but I'm talking about private investigations. A lot of these folks is just, they got an army of one. And some of y'all can put names in the comment section. Yeah, I'm talking about them. If they got an army of one and they ain't put nobody else on, I'm talking about them. Because for you, everyone can talk whatever they want about someone like Boyce Watkins, but Boyce has a whole team behind him. Kind of like the great poet Nipsey Hussle. He got a team in his bank. He's paying people every month for something, right? And I can talk to Boyce, and I can talk to Tariq, and I can talk to certain people. So I'm very biased. I'm letting y'all know. So everything's forefront. They're not all, paying me, and that's okay, because there's enough work for everybody. What we have to do as a people is, one, you can't talk about the information, man, if you don't have your own YouTube and you haven't put the umbrella lights. You see the umbrella lights, get the lighting and the artwork. And him and I rocking the soccer jerseys today.
Yeah, Brazil, baby, that's my team, Brazil.
Yeah, I almost wore my Brazil one, and I said, I haven't thrown this little Brussels one with my African brother on it for a minute.
Oh wow, brother.
Yeah, but you got to put some time in before you just comment and criticize everybody, because this stuff is not free. These umbrella lights, I know you saw them on Wish, but he didn't get them on Wish, and if he did, he bought more than two. So that's money. He got the African guitar back there. You have to put in work to be able to criticize. You can't step up into this field. We got our lives on the line. Houses been raided because of the connections that we had. My company did the new Black Panther website.
Wait a minute. Repeat that to everybody so they can hear that. What did your company do again, brother?
Over 10 years ago, we were in Grambling. I call him my brother. Brandon Richardson. Our thing. We put the new Black Panther website together. You know how many lists we're on? How many times I travel? Brandon doesn't travel. He doesn't fly as much. You know how many extra churches you got to get because you're connected with certain people? I did a story on Malik Zulu Sabaz when I was the editor at Grambling. One of the editors.
Let me stop you right there. Just to remind everybody, he ain't talking about no Black Panther the movie where all the money went back to white folks in Disney. He talking about activists. Okay, wasn't it Khalid Muhammad?
Yeah.
And check this out. I met brother Khalid Muhammad years ago. I was still in college. I was about 23 years old, 21 years old. I was in Oakland. No, I was in Berkeley, California. Berkeley.
Yeah.
In Berkeley, and I was working. Once again, I was working with kids. I was in a program working with children, and I went into the Berkeley Live area, and he was speaking somewhere that night. I had no idea, man. And all of a sudden, I walk in. I was like, "Oh my God, it's Khalid Muhammad!" And I walked over to him. He was. This is after he had his breakup with brother Farrakhan. Okay, they're falling out or their breakup. And I walked over to him, and he said, "Young brother, you need to come see me tonight." And so he gave me a flyer where it was going to be. He was humble. I know you talk about that when you are in the media eye, you should have security around you to protect yourself. And we're going to talk about that too. But he didn't have no security. It was just him, a sister, and another brother. And he was very humble with me, gave me the lead. I said, brother, I shook his hand. I was in so awe of the brother because I love the things that he talks about and what he stood for, right? Yeah. So it was, I didn't have no camera phone. We didn't have no camera phone at that time. God, I wish I had a camera phone and I could have took a picture with him. But that was my experience with Khalid Muhammad. It was a beautiful experience. He treated me very well. He was very humble. He said, young brother, come see me tonight. And that stayed with me. I'm 48 years old today. That stayed with me to this very day. And this brother is saying that he was involved with producing their website.
The website. It's
Okay.
what we do. Website, because you got to think back then the social media wasn't as hot like it is now.
Yes.
And even to this day, we have to convince people to use social media in their business. But we have to respect those fighters that are here now, because like Khalid, they may not be there tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And that's a beautiful story. But if you are going to be active in this fight, I think we all passport. We all should get a business. Think about, even if you are a house cleaner, right, for a
Yes.
company right now, or a plumber, what stops you from doing that for yourself? You know, do it for yourself, where they hire your company, right, and not you. And also remember that teams build dreams. Man, I'm not trying to rhyme and get on my Don King, but
Yeah.
teams build dreams. The fact that I can create something and have other people manage it, because
Yes.
I may not be as passionate as the management side as the creative. I'm a creative at heart, but I
Yes.
also have to be a businessman, because I want to create some more stuff. And I got so many things I want to create. I will die not creating everything that I wanted to create. That's how big my goals are. That's how big your goals should be.
That's right. Let me ask you a question now. I know that you're a motivational speaker. I'm listening.
I don't know if I'm that. I'm just a man. I don't know if I'm a motivation.
Okay, let me say this. When I went on YouTube and I did some research and pulled up some stuff that had you on there was something where I think you were speaking to some folks, and it said something about motivational speaker.
The kids label that stuff for me. I just talk. If they ask me to come talk with the kids, because your job, that's probably one of the most fulfilling jobs I ever had, is working with youth, especially at risk, because it's like a mirror. I see myself in them. I'm no different. I can sit here all day because I sat in my room all day by myself I didn't know where this life would go, right? So, but you go on. If you want to give me that title, I'll take it. But I'm just saying, I just talk.
Let me play something real quick that you will recognize, and then we're going to get into this part of the discussion, and then we're going to get. I want to go into who you represent right now in your PR, your PR firm, who you represent in YouTube. But let me play something for you that will be a reminder from what you did the other day, I think, with Search for Uhuru. I'm going to play this for everybody to hear, and here it goes.
We're seeing an attack on Black YouTubers. I mean, we've seen it with the ads and everything. And I say that because I speak with Google when, I represent different YouTubers with good sized platforms. And we're seeing, first they attack the money-wise. When they can't kill them money-wise because of PayPal and Patreon and other things, we find other ways. Black YouTubers, you had mentioned Tariq Nasheed, that's total nonsense, how someone can come to your house and you can get raided.
I'm going to stop that right there. But I wanted to give folks a little taste of your discussion and where it's taking us right now. I want you to talk to the good folks out here listening in the chat room, and everyone out there that will listen to this on the repeat. Let everybody know exactly who you represent and what is the attack that is happening to Black YouTubers, because there are folks in this chat room right now, along with myself, who have been experiencing kooky things. Like I told you before, True Royal Family, she's been under attack. I can subscribe to her channel, hit the bell. Next thing you know, I went to her channel and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't unsubscribe. I didn't unhit the bell. We have situations where we're doing live streams like this, and you'll hear weird sounds. You have people that will hack into your stream and use terms like "you niggers," you know what I'm saying? I've experienced it firsthand. Brother Keith Newsom, I watched his YouTube channel one night, me and True Royal Family, because I'm a moderator on this channel. I watched people go right into his channel and hack it, pull him out of the channel, put new picture art up. All right, he had no freaking control. And when he called YouTube, they telling him, man, it looks like you had some enemy of the state type of stuff get pulled up on you. A lot of us believe that YouTube is doing it to us. We believe that Google might even be doing it to us. We believe this type of stuff. And so a lot of us, even small YouTubers, when we're connecting with big YouTubers and we're in their panels, we're in their chat rooms, a lot of weird stuff is happening. True Royal Family, she tried to come into one of my streams one time, and I sent her the link and she couldn't get in. And she said she knows what this is, that they will do things to block you from getting on people's panels. Brother, I said a whole lot right there. What the hell do you think's going on? You're dealing with some big YouTubers, and I want you to name these folks that you represent. What the hell is going on? And I say that, brother, with a lot of thunder behind my voice. Very angry about this.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you some of my favorites, because there are some people who, because of some of our other affiliations, don't necessarily want to be affiliated with us, and that's okay, and that's in our agreement. But some of my favorites are Phil, the Advice Show, who was probably maybe the second YouTuber I ever represented, whatnot, who him and I, we connect. We don't always have to agree on things, but Phil's one of those people who will let you do your magic. Dr. Tina, I had mentioned the personal relationship, CNA to MD. She doesn't post as much because of the work hours, but she will be posting more and more. But she's done interviews with like Dr. Heavenly and even billionaires on her platform to talk about, if we're going to talk about money, let's talk about it. Lovely T, too, another one of my favorites who I represent, that, she just launched her tea line. Can anybody in the chat room name a Black-owned tea line? I bet you can't, but you can at Lovely Tea. That's TEA.net. And, she just sold out in less than 48 hours of her tea, and she's going to have some more for y'all. And these are people, someone like Lovely Tea used to do news, but YouTube kept demonetizing her stuff. So it didn't even make sense to do, because why, if you're not going to pay me and you're putting me on a radar,
yes,
to, I'm just going to do, my hot topics. So what they're doing, and it's not all YouTube's fault. Their advertisers are telling them, we want you guys to be more responsible. I've gone to lunches at Google and different things. They don't have a lot of us there. And when they do hire us, they hire what I call safe Black folks. Black folks who maybe they all grew up. They remind me of suburban Black folks. They want to be so out of the loop of the fight that everything is is honky-dory. What are we complaining about? We're making our 100,000. We have no complaints. Look at me.
Yes.
We can all play that role if we want to, even if you don't have 100,000. Black folks know how to do it with 25,000, right? But some of us are in this fight for real. So it's an ad fight that they're going through, and they're fighting with other companies who are trying to take over their space. Like when the adpocalypse came, okay, we just jump on Patreon. YouTubers were making more, some of them, on Patreon than they were on YouTube, right?
Wow.
But then now they want to compete with Patreon, and they want to say, oh, we'll be a sponsor your favorite YouTuber, because they want people to shift that money back over. Even if you make 6 figures on YouTube, because this is Black folks' problem. They look at somebody and they calculate their money and say, well, this person, I think they're making 6 figures and they're making this. Even for the $1 million YouTubers that I haven't mentioned, none of those people that I mentioned are $1 million ones. I could mention one, but I'm gonna let y'all do your research. Who's a multi-million-dollar Black YouTuber? Actually, I'm gonna say his name, and then that's where I'll be quiet.
Okay, go right ahead, brother.
MK could be HD. Marquis.
Okay.
He does tech review. $1 million YouTuber.
$1 million.
You're not gonna hear him in the fight, but that's all right. He's doing his lane. I'm not going to hate on Marquise for not mentioning certain things, because maybe he's not informed. And as we find out from Kanye West, it's better to be quiet, like the scriptures say, than to open your mouth and be made a fool. Like everyone knows you're a fool, right?
Yeah, he made a big time foolish start talking about that nonsense about Black people made a choice to be in slavery, when I can read off tons of slavery votes in which Black folks were doing everything they could to fight against being enslaved. Brother, let me ask you a question. Do you mind about this issue around how Black folks are being attacked on these platforms? Do you mind if I bring us a guest onto the platform, a True Royal Family, and Sister Nicole are in the chat room they may have some questions that they might want to ask, and I might put a link in the chat room or send a private link.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
They might have some questions that they may want to ask you, and if they feel comfortable, I'll send them links.
Okay.
And I know your time is precious. And how are we on time so far, brother?
I don't know. I don't know how long we've been going, but if we keep it within, we try to keep it within, let's say, let's go. And I'll tell you if I saw one of my little ones pop out.
Okay. All you gotta do is to say the fam, and we'll understand. And
yeah.
We'll wind it down. But I'm gonna send them a link because I know that True Royal Family. Reason why I'm bringing these two dynamic sisters on, because Nicole Ali, the sister I was telling you about, I was on her channel when it was straight up hacked, and I know True Royal Family has had her run-ins big time with the hacking and the nonsense that goes on. So I kind of want to bring them in, give their perspective.
Yeah, and let me tell you, when you're hacked, Google is very hard to get a hold of. Now, if you are a YouTuber with over 250,000 subscribers, you should. And if you don't, because I've told people who did not know this, YouTube has partner managers that if you have an enough audience, you then have a manager at YouTube, somebody you can call.
Okay.
Some of these people are great. Shout out to, and I can't say her name because she'll be mad, but some of these people are great at what they do, and they really care. They understand the death threats that Black YouTubers get.
Okay. I want you to repeat to everybody that's listening. Mm-hmm. What are the death threats that are happening to some of our well-known YouTubers, like a Phil of the Avice Show? What's the death threat toll that you're hearing about? How often are they getting these death threats?
I'm seeing the emails. They're weekly. You can see them in the comments section of people saying things. And that's with Phil. Phil is a big size guy. We know these trolls, if they saw Phil,
they're gonna run.
Yeah, they ain't gonna say all that because they don't say these things to me, and I might, find them sometimes, and they don't say these things to me, and he's a bigger size guy.
Now, let me read something off. I love what you said. True Royal Family, she wrote in the chat room, we need to go gangster and steal from YouTube and send them to Black Junction. Are you familiar with Black Junction, brother?
I know Yusef and his partner over there. We know them well.
Brother,
yeah.
I hate cutting you off, but I'm so excited right now. I've been saying this in the family. This is why what we're doing right now, this is a very important video, brother. I'm telling you right now. I, along with True Royal Family, Nicole Ali, and many others that follow me, that I follow, that are in the chat room right now, that are listening, we've been saying that for the longest, that it would be beautiful if Black Junction TV could merge with Black Spot. And if once they get a live stream jumping off on Black Junction TV, that might be the game changer that will cause a lot of us that are on YouTube to come over. And of course, they're going to need our support. What do you think about that? Have you been talking to them about that? That streaming that's where it is, brother. The streaming.
Now, we could call Yusef right now, and I wouldn't mind hooking y'all two up so you could talk.
Can you do that for me, brother? I would love to bring him into a live stream like this and get some of the get True Royal Family on with him, Nicole, and have a live program, because a lot of us in this family that I'm a part of, we've been asking that once Black Junction TV gets off the ground with our support, we need to go over there like gangbusters. If you got a connection to him, brother, then you're the best thing that could have happened in this program today, right now.
Yeah. I just texted him while we were talking because I don't like to waste any time.
Oh, okay, brother. Okay.
And I'll tell you this though, with Black Junction TV, they have a paid membership. If you want to see them grow, help them with their money. In the Search for a Ruru podcast, I showed the private server that I have.
Yes.
It's a Synology unit. If people search enough on YouTube, you could type Synology, you could see me talking about Synology. For Black Junction to really grow to that rate, it's going to take millions of dollars, because somebody at a low level rate to set up their server to do half of what YouTube does is a $60,000 bill minimum. There's nobody who knows really what they're doing and everything of the cords. I have a platinum certificate in network attached storage for Synology.
Wow.
I'm not even that expert that can get them to where they want to go. So I say that to say you're going to need everyone's support. And you know, with Black business, when one thing goes wrong, people start saying, this is why I don't support no Black business because my order came out late.
Yeah.
No, this is why you support Black business so they can hire some more staff so everybody's order can come. Don't just throw us away because one thing went wrong. For my personal business, I know we can't afford to make mistakes in PR and consulting, so we don't make them and we work hard at it, right? But when you're talking about a restaurant, when you're talking about technology and a server, them brothers don't always have control of all that. And hackers, you see the US government gets hacked into. They get hacked into by the Russians. So when you're talking about this stuff, bear with them because there's going to be growing pains and we're going to need everybody to support. Again, for those people who are complaining, how much have you put in? What have you done? And if you ain't done nothing, like Minister Farrakhan say, be quiet.
Yeah. I'm actually on Black Junction. Someone must be getting ready to come on to the chat because I'm hearing this double sound.
Okay.
Whoever's coming on, please mute your if you okay, I guess no one's coming on yet. True Royal Family, I put a link in there, and Nicole Ali, I put a link in the chat room, and I also sent you guys private links because I want you on particularly because of the experiences that you've had personally with the way you've had your channels hacked. And we got a brother here. I didn't know this. I didn't know that Brother Cash has a connection to the brother who actually runs and operates Black Junction TV. And a lot of us have been talking amongst ourselves about how we wish or we want Black Junction TV to have a stream and improve so that we can leave YouTube. And here the brother is saying we got to put our money where our mouth is, which is true, to support them. We have to get a subscription to the channel. And I'm already over there. We've got to connect. And he sent a text to the brother who is operating Black Junction TV. This is what this is about. We talk about these things, and you know what's up? This is what it's about. This is what it's about, people.
I'm calling him now. See if
calling him out. Oh, you can call him now, brother. I hope hey, Cash, if you don't get him on today, I need you to help me get him on with me or with us all together for another stream. Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
True Royal Family, I see you on the panel.
How you doing?
How you doing, sister? This brother, Kellen Cash, that you've been listening to me talk to, he actually has direct connection to the brother who operates and runs Black Junction TV.
Yeah, I'm close to the brother on Black.
Oh, okay.
I have his I set up a lot of his interviews behind the scenes.
Okay. Because we've been saying that wouldn't it be a beautiful thing with your connections if these two platforms could merge, it would be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that for a while because Black Spot is not getting customers. And for some reason, Black Junction, I think it might have something to do with how the format is laid out.
Yes.
Because when Black Spot first came out, he had his format set up like YouTube. Then he took that down and he set up another format. Then he took that down and set up another, and it threw some people off because we had already started setting up groups and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And he do live stream, and him and his wife had put a lot into it. It's just a trip. I can't quite put my finger on why Spot is not getting the views and everything, because I put videos up there. The most views I've had on Black Spot is 15 people.
Do you think that there's some outside force, maybe I'm saying the obvious, that's suppressing the platform, that's doing it? Because I know that I'm on Black Spot, and I know sometimes when I try to log into it, it always takes me out of it. Like just trying to get into it, I can't get in sometimes. You know how your phone acts funny when you're trying to get into an app?
Well, she said it was something about the interface.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, she said it's something, you know, how he changed his interface. And so it's like Uber versus Lyft versus the only black competition that I know is Movin, Moovn. You can download that app on your thing and see if they operate in your city. But I know the brother who runs that, but he was doing Uber before Uber was doing Uber, but his interface has had to change so many times. And there's still little things technology-wise that he needs to focus on. That brother's originally from Tanzania. And, you know, I'm sure he'd love to come on the show as well, but he was just in African Forbes, but he lives here in Seattle.
Okay.
Beautiful family. But if your interface isn't right, forget black, white, this and that, you just ain't getting the customer. If it's not user friendly, there's a lot of competition with YouTube, and YouTube has been able to withstand the hands of time. Now, you know, YouTube is Google is gonna buy out Netflix or someone else, you know, later on, so they can keep relevant. But black folks aren't just gonna come join in your platform just because. You're gonna have to make sure your stuff is right and tight.
Now, True Royal Family has a question she wants to ask because
you can't. No, I was just making a statement. You can't make this shit up. As I'm talking,
yes,
I got cut.
You got cut off. Yeah, yeah. Brother Cash. This is True Royal Family. She's a big YouTuber. She got a large following. We love her. I love her. That's why I had to bring her on. She's had a lot of weird stuff happen to her, and like you said, you were talking about the fact that black YouTubers are being attacked. She just got pulled off of my channel without even being me pulling her off. I subscribed to her channel, and I go to her channel, one of her channels, and they got me unsubscribed, and I never unsubscribed to her channel. What the hell is going on, Brother Cash? You said that you're dealing with people, big YouTubers like this. What the hell is going on? Repeat these things again. People need to hear this again.
We got to remember these aren't our platforms, and not enough of us in technology are helping to create. There's a lot of folks who study CIS. How many of them are coming to, you know, the Black Spot, the Black Junction TV to say we can add value? We can create our own. Just like Ice Cube just created his own basketball league, we need to do it with the NFL, because really we should just at most use YouTube as a server and do our own private thing. And we don't even use them as a server if we learn about serving. But how many of us truly know when they were talking about Hillary Clinton and private servers? How many of us have a private server in our home? I didn't have one until I started working for the company. And so when you have a private server, you control what people can and cannot see. Until we can control our own narrative, we can control what people can and cannot see.
Yes.
And the technology is out there. Let's not complain, but let's be active and create our own. Because at any day, they can cut all this off. The same way, and I keep pushing this. This isn't a black and white thing, because the same way in Cameroon, which I'll be in the summer, Cameroon, they cut off all the English-speaking people in their region. They cut their internet. That was businesses flop because of the crisis and conflict going there.
Yes.
So you think that if everything was honky-dory with white folks in America, it would all be beautiful? No, it would be some other type of tribalism that cuts us off. So we need to get the information so we can create our own. So whether it's racism, classism, or anything else, we can't get cut off.
So that's why a lot of us within our circles, we really want to see Black Junction TV be successful. I'm more than willing to pay money, do whatever I can personally, because I'm already over there. Many of us are already over there with our platforms over there. But I really feel that if we can connect with the brother that you know and do a stream, but most of all, what I want him to know is that if Black Junction TV can get their streaming on par with what we've got over here on YouTube or whatever, and I know for a fact, brother, you know, you heard of Twitch, right?
Yeah, no Twitch.
You know, Twitch has a better, I don't know what they're running off of. their live streaming is off the hook. I've been thinking about doing getting a Twitch account because I can be broadcasting this right now while I'm on Twitch at the same time. It allows you to do multi, broadcasting. But if Black Gift TV gets their streaming off the ground, that's going to be the game changer.
That's going to be. But and I don't know how Black Junction TV does their PR. I know them from a different dealing. But keep in mind, these are two brothers who were train conductors. They drove trains for a living.
So that's why it's called Junction.
There you go. and so that's and they're doing something because they don't have the venture capital that a Twitch has.
Okay. Right?
The people are becoming 100,000-aires on Twitch and beyond because I tell everybody, get on Twitch. These kids is killing it on Twitch. We got checks to prove it, right? Yeah. But these are two just regular people like you and I who said, we got a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of money, let's put it together. Yes. So we got to have patience with them and with everybody. And if people are stealing from the community, let's call them out tomorrow, or if not today. I got my issues with certain so-called leaders in the community, and I don't want to bury them, but I want to let people know how you going to support somebody where you can't prove the work that they're doing. And they've proven to you that they're a liar and that they don't have righteousness in them. They might have a Bentley in them. They might have some good speaking skills and they can travel, whatnot, but stop. I could have a Bentley in my garage. That don't mean nothing. I could have an Aston Martin next to it. That don't mean nothing. These material things you can't take with them. The Egyptians tried. They failed. You feel me? So don't base people off their hard work. Like I said, the information man, he's giving you the information. What are you going to do with it? Or what are you going to create? And if you're not going to create anything and all you're going to be is a consumer, you just have to be a little quiet. Because we have enough complaints in the world.
That's right. Brother, out of respect, True Royal Family, do you have any questions specific that's on your mind that you want to ask this brother that you've heard him say that kind of strikes you in any kind of way or another?
No, I'm not yet. No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He did, Brother Cash, you did mention that the death threats, that's what that most really makes my eyebrow round. Right. Mm-hmm. The death threats on YouTubers. How often, we're going to repeat this for effect. How often is this happening to them?
It's weekly for the YouTubers because I read all my people's mail. And I can tell you, even for myself, I get them telling me don't represent this person anymore. It's different, though, for me because I have a different spirit. Trolls can have my address if you want, because anybody who comes to that doorstep who's not invited, they got that body cam to prove it was yours. I'm not the baddest or anything, but we don't run from anything because we've been doing this too long. We've been doing it before YouTube was a platform. So I know, stop a bully, invite them to come have dinner with you. They never will, ever. Bullies don't do that. We train 5 days a week just for the hand-to-hand. So if you want to go hand-to-hand, we can do that. But if you want to go something else for something else, let it be Boko Haram, inshallah. And let it be what it's gonna be.
Yeah. I overheard you speaking to Brother Dynasty about there's some YouTubers like Phil who may need to have security when they go out. I couldn't. When I heard you say that, I was kind of well, not surprised, but are you serious about that? That
all my YouTubers need security. Every single one of them except my wife if I'm there. But all my YouTubers need security. Because people are crazy. I mean, we look at what happened to Zach TV. If it was a black person who killed him, that was a black person. We can't trust that somebody's giving us $5 a month on Patreon, that they're not coming to assassinate us. We've seen this story too many times. All of them need to have security. I'll just say it like that. I was going to say something else. I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Information man.
Yes.
I emailed you.
Let me check my email right here in my fingertips.
What I emailed you, as you're pulling it up, the title of this it says, "Does YouTube enable trolls, harassers, and online attackers?"
Simply put, YouTube is the most popular and the most powerful platform for video content, consumption, and creation. However, unintentionally, I am sure YouTube enables their content creators to be harassed, trolled, and attacked online by anyone with a gadget malice, pathological intentions. I say this because recently a short video I created, posted to my YouTube channel, was targeted by an unknown, such as a troll. For now, let's call them a troll. The troll flagged to YouTube that my video was inappropriate. Brother Cash, now you say you dealt with
Google every month. She needs to dispute it, and even after they dispute it, this is the difference between having a small channel and a big channel.
Excuse me, brother. I don't want you to waste your breath. Let me just so you'll know what's going on. I was hacked twice, and the first person that hacked me is still around, and he hacked me and She the Baby Goddess because he openly asked me to flag Mr. Superboy, and I was still green to YouTube, and I did a video about it. I said I don't do greasy shit behind the scenes. Okay, he took over my channel. I couldn't get back in there, and he was trying to lure Mr. Superboy to hit a link. And I always greet y'all by my king, my queen. He put king. So I had the Radical Home Goddess make an alert. Don't click anything on my channel. Okay, that passed. We go to the next year. My channel got hacked again. Oh, and that first channel I had was called Amethyst. I lost over 400 videos. Because like I said, I was green. Okay, now the next time I get hacked, it was done a little bit different. I was still able to get on get on my channel and all of that. And one night we was on Sci-Fi's channel, and it was just a bunch of drama. And I got up there to just say something briefly, and I said to Sci-Fi, I said, I'm just going to observe. And she said, no, you got to stay here and all of that. Because by then I had already went out. So I came back. So the next day, it showed two different avatars. It showed mine. And then the other avatar, you hear my voice, but you see a different avatar. So people thought I was out here had a troll channel going to troll people. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy. So what I did was I went to a digital forensic company, and it's better to go to one locally because there's tons of them. Because YouTube is useless. They no help at all. They encourage, I call them the hater, the hackers, and the trolls. So my channel was investigated for 4 months. They had took it down, and they did catch the person that did it, and it happened to be a brother. He can never come back to YouTube. He did have to pay me back the money from the digital forensic company, but I can never mention his name because I got a gag order on me. But it was so detrimental to me. It made me look bad in the community. It looked like I was talking out of two sides of my head. You know, I'm talking righteous, but then I'm gonna go troll you. And I often said this to people. I don't have no hidden channels. I got the True Royal family and True Royal. I openly troll people. I'm not gonna do it hidden. And you don't know me, brother, but the royal family, they know it. If I get a wild hair up my butt, I ain't gonna go. I'm upfront with my stuff. But anyway, basically what I was saying is, so yeah, I did all of that. I had to get file a police report and everything. Okay, I come back after the 4 months, getting started up. The first week that I came back, I was flagged twice. So I was shut down for 2 weeks. I said that shit was in-house because the digital forensic company contacted YouTube, and they also contacted this whatever internet provider this brother used to say, you know, he's doing unethical shit. But I had to go that far with these people, and they are allowing YouTube trolls to harass people and they act like they're clueless, like they don't know how to get rid of them. Okay, you go to Facebook, when you block somebody, you block somebody. They can't get back in at all. And even if the person made up another Facebook page, they still have to request it to get in. So YouTube is being disingenuous. Now on Black Junction, I have had to block a few people. It's simple. So we know what they are doing. So my attitude about it is we need to continue to make those announcements on our channel, put the links and redirect, and they'll be on Black Junction or Black Spot. That's why I'm saying go gangster with it, because they don't care. And once we do this on a high percentage level, making that mass exodus, they're gonna feel it. That's why MySpace is dead, because we the one that's holding this stuff up. It ain't people just gonna, it's like it's like being an alcoholic or a dope fiend. You just gonna have to detox from YouTube, or you can just use it for whatever purposes that you use it for. But we the one that bring the customers. So while we continue to bring the customers, like on my main channel, say I got over 9,000 subs. Say I was able to pull all 9,000 and they never come back. They just gonna stay on Black Spot and Black Junction. And could you imagine 1,000 of us do that? It would be felt. So the bullshit is real. But that link that I have, family, excuse me, that link that I have, I'll put it back in the comment box and you can read it at your leisure. All right, thank you.
Thank you, True Royal family. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Brother Cash, what are your thoughts? I mean, she put it out there, brother, like it is.
Yeah, and I'm glad she did the whole forensics and all that, because most people would have just, stopped at, I have a problem. Google, even if you're a big YouTuber, has an issue on fixing certain problems, especially quickly. And so, I deal with computer guys all day, right? And we go after government work. Hackers, that ain't ever going away, ever. So when I look at Google, I have to, when I talk to them, be realistic on what they can and what they cannot do and what they're equipped to do. There's a lot more. We tell them every week, if not month, we need more and more. You know what it's going to take? More people are going to have to die off YouTube for them to figure out they really need to do something. More people, because if you look at what recently happened, they passed a law that Backpage is no longer a company, and Craigslist even took off how they were, getting their escorts.
Yes.
They closed all that down because of a law, because the guys at Backpage are going to prison because they openly knew what was going on. I don't know how the tricks are now going to get their fix, but more people are going to have to die for YouTube to say, okay, we're going to we're going to solve this problem, because there's a lot of problems. The hacking is one thing, the trolling is another, the flagging of videos, and now they have the robots flagging the videos. It's a problem, but they don't necessarily know how to fix it. So it's going to take us to make videos about how to fix it. And if
I disagree with you. You know why?
Why?
Because anytime we do anything, they know exactly what to do. When they don't do it, they get convenient amnesia. They're very swift with us.
Well, that's because it's us. But the way to solve the problem, there's a problem that even white YouTubers say the same thing. And
but we shouldn't care about them. They are non-factor.
Well, no, I'm saying
I don't give a damn about no white folks.
You don't. But this is our business, right? So this is what we do all day, every day. We have a whole team for this. So what I'm saying is, there are white YouTubers who say they have the same problems. For me, the black YouTubers are my priority because it's life or death, I know.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm saying. And it's all about focus and what you deal with. It's one thing to come on YouTube for, an hour or two a week, but when this is what pays my family's bills. So I have to take it even to the nth degree. How do we solve all these problems, and can we solve them? I can't fix every problem. So that's all I'm saying, sis.
Well, let me make this point here. I think True Royal family, you made a good point. I think we will make them feel it by affecting them economically. That's the only thing they will understand. So if everybody left YouTube, because it was black folks that made YouTube what it is today, if we all left and went over to Black Culture TV and stopped supporting the YouTube platform, they will feel the pain economically. If
Yeah.
there's nothing else that they understand, they
And
understand
then
that.
when they try to clean up their act, we're not coming back. You know what I always say, when we see a crack in the system,
Mhm.
and they trying to rectify it, you kill it completely. Because you know, like that fake shit they doing with Starbucks, these brothers, they isolated them and cornered them and everything. And I was sitting there thinking, I said, damn, this is gonna always happen. We need to have damn near etched in stone a list of demands, how to execute that type of stuff when we happen. We have spokesmen, we have lawyers and all that kind of stuff. Because I've been brainstorming over this for a few years. And I even talked about the other day. We need a defense fund because we always encountering something. The cops are in courts and stuff, and this is how I was thinking of it. Every black woman, every black man, and I know it ain't gonna be everyone, but on a high percentage level, that all they got to do is put in $10 a month to our defense fund. Okay. And in that defense fund, we're going to get lawyers that look like us, and they will get paid, but they're going to get paid as low as possible, whatever that however that is set from each state. They fully already know what their purpose is. So you can picture this growing across the United States. I'll just come up with a name off the top of my head, the Royal Defense Fund. Okay, anytime we have to go to court and deal with the enemy, you get full representation and everything. And even possibly we might even have to cover these people's bills for a short time. You will get a lot in it. You would get adequate representation, because like with the situation with Jazzy Rowe, she didn't have no good lawyer at all, and it is sad. But I see it clear as day. We really need a defense fund.
Do you have that plan drafted out where you could share that?
Yeah, I do.
I'd love,
but I haven't completed it.
Okay, well, when you complete it, I'd love to see it, because I mean, I'll just, for any of the YouTubers, at any time the police can drag us out like this was, they always say Nazi Germany, but I say like it's America. They can drag you out, and we've had people on the different platforms who have gone to jail for making videos, and they've had to go to jail because of that. And some of those people have means. One of the ladies, she was actually living in Africa at one point, and she came back from Africa. She's a Black American, came back from Africa to come keep fighting. And then when she made the little gun threat online, the police came and everybody saw her, go viral, and she's in the courtroom in her yellow jumpsuit, I think it was. But we do need that. But that comes back to, like, leaving YouTube to me is like leaving America. My plan is 6 months out of the country and maybe 6 months here, how I choose. Just because when you leave the country, there's anybody who's left that I've talked to, and we've interviewed a lot of people, there's a certain thing that comes off your shoulders. Even if you go to Mexico, even if you go to the Caribbean, it's like that whole N-word is thrown off of you, and the police aren't trying to shoot you as soon as you are looking at you, because in most places you can pay the police off. I know there's been places I've paid my appreciation fee for something that was or wasn't our fault, and my wife is like, "No, don't pay them." I'm like, "Look, this is an easy toll to pay." That's what I look at it. It's toll. So when you go overseas and you have that, and you don't go with the missionary group, you don't go with the army and the military, because you saw it through a different lens. You got to go as you as an individual, and you may have to go by yourself just to see how they treat you in Mexico. And they say, "Ben aquí, mami, papi," and sit down and have some platanos and all that good stuff. And then you go to, maybe you go down to Belize. That's where the Mexicans go do their shopping. And when people say, "Well, I don't have no money to travel," stop purchasing what they're selling us every second. They're selling us something. I may not have a new shirt. You may see this shirt next week, but I'm gonna have some travel money, because I don't even buy my stuff here if I don't have to, because I don't even want to line into the system. You know, I know where I got this in Europe from a black man, an African, and where he got it is none of my business, but I know who I'm supporting. So we have to get our minds right, and what can we solve today, tomorrow, and beyond.
Interesting. Brother, I want to respect your time and everything. I know you're a family man. There's so many more things I can ask you, but I think I need to respect your time. And if you can, brother, make contact. Well, I know you will make contact with the brothers that you were telling us that created Black Junction TV. Definitely put a word out, because I would like to create a forum where we can bring them on. I can get True Royal Family on, yourself, and we can talk about these things that we have conversations with amongst ourselves when we broadcast, which is we really do want to support Black Junction TV. We feel that there's a game changer if they get to stream. We want to throw in their ear, not to tell them what to do, but we really think that the more that Black people collaborate and combine with each other, you know, because Black Spot may have something that Black Junction TV doesn't have in terms of their infrastructure. Maybe it could really blow into something if they had a chance to merge each other. Who knows? But I really would like, with your help, to set something up like that.
As soon as
I have a lot of questions for those brothers.
I'm gonna share your information, and I'll send an email, and you know we'll go from there and see what happens. And anytime if there's something that you find that I can add a value, just hit me up. You know, as entrepreneurs, we got into this because we wanted to have freedom. So you know, catch up with me. I'm gonna go do the family thing, and you guys be blessed.
Let me let you know before you leave, brother. I need you to send links or information, because I'm going to put it all in the edited version of this video. I'm going to put it in there, but just remind everybody where they can find you, whether it be your Twitter, your whatever social media that you're on, or your name, how they can contact you.
Yeah, social media, all of them. It's Kellen, Kellen, Cash. That I want to be found on. You know, I think the Instagram and the Twitters are great. Facebook is kind of dying, the young people tell me. But you know, if they really want to reach me, you can send an email to Kellen at ColemanPRFirm.com. CPRFirm.com for short is our website.
Okay.
And I just want to put this out there. If you have like a business a question, we even have a forum for that at clarity.fm/Kellen Cash, because we take the business call serious. We prep for them. We want all your businesses to bloom. And many people use a site like Clarity where they're like, we can't pay for PR, but we want to get some tips and advice. So they schedule the time on clarity.fm/Kellen Cash, and we can talk about their business. 15-minute minimum. And, you know, it's like $2 a minute. So it's affordable if you're serious about business.
Okay.
You know, and that's the thing about us. We need to build teams, because contingency plans is why I went on yesterday. Yeah. And I've always told Dynast and everybody I deal with in business, if you don't have a contingency plan, your business is going to fail with you. We need to, this business doesn't begin, it might have began with me, but it doesn't end with me. So there's ways for it to move on. I'll be in Africa. The business will still be going on while I check my emails periodically. But if you don't have a team, to me, you don't really have a business. And so get yourself a team. Everyone has a cousin who needs, you know, $2 for you to put in their pocket. Hire them.
Brother, let everybody know you have a YouTube channel too, right?
Thank you for reminding me. I tell everyone I'm not a YouTuber, but when I find things of value to say, I put them on YouTube so I don't have to repeat myself 1,000 times. Kellen Cash, again, that's Cash with the K. You know, subscribe, like it. If, you know, I know I'm an acquired taste because I give it straight up, no chaser. And if you like your information like that, from passports to even the vegan food reviews to, you know, just everyday what your daddy should have told you type stuff. You know, that's how deep we get into it. Because some of us, even if you had a father, some people did have a father who really implemented something good into them. And we want to put something good into people. So check out the YouTube, give me questions, comments, suggestions, and we'll go from there.
Wow, brother. I want to, once again, I got to give you some much added clap and love here.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to catch you next time. We're going to do this again.
Oh, yeah, we're going to definitely do this again. Do me a favor, brother. If you can, email me when you have time. I know you have your family coming in there. When you get time, don't forget to email me some of these links to your business, because what I want to do is I'm going to go back into this video. I'm going to put those links in this video, and then I'm going to create, I think I'm going to probably have to go on your YouTube page and figure out a way how to, I'm going to get a picture of you. And I'm going to make a beautiful,
all that. I'm going to make it easy for you.
And I'm going to make a beautiful thumbnail to this video that you're going to love. Okay?
So I'm sending you all that right now.
All right, brother. Well, with that said, that's Brother Kellen Cash. Brother Cash was with us. I want to thank him for being with us. I want to thank everybody in the chat room for being with us today. I hope that there was something that the brother said that enlightened you to think about what it is, what's going on in YouTube, what it is in our own personal lives, how we can empower ourselves. I hope you all enjoyed the brother. We're going to have him back on. As you heard him say, he knows the brothers that are the main individuals that created Black Junction TV. So we're going to try to like get back together, bring them into this type of forum where we can ask them questions, let them know that we're behind what they're doing and supporting them, and see if they're where do we go in terms of creating a stream on their platform and how that can take us to the next level. So Brother Cash, thank you. Love you for being with me today. And enjoy your time with the rest of your weekend and with your family, brother, and keep doing what you're doing. I thank you. And with that said, this is the Information Man. Truth to power. Truth to power. Wait a minute. We're speaking truth to power. Truth. Yes, it is. Everybody, thank you again for being with me. And here's our going away music. All right, who's in the chat room? Let me give a little bit of love. Everybody in the chat room. We got Ann. I want to give a special thanks to True Royal Family for coming in and speaking her mind as she sees it, as its reality, because there's a lot of foolish things going on. And I agree with you, True Royal Family. YouTube and Google, they don't care about Black folks. They're messing with us. They're implicit in it, in my opinion. We saw it firsthand. We got brother the Nubian, Brother Gab Talk Media. Make sure you guys go to his channel and subscribe. Cashmere's in the house. Ann's in the house. Subscribe to her channel as well. We gotta support each other. Okay? I told y'all that I'm gonna keep trying to improve the channel. Keep trying to bring brothers like Cash out who have some connections and let us know what's going on. We got King Wage. We got Kim Kirby in there. I'm bad with names, but I'll do my best. Let's see. Who else is in there? We got Car Show. We got Minnie Doll in there. Unsinking One. Thank you. We got the Lioness. I love the Lioness. And I love your style, sister. I actually wanted you to come into the program the other night when I was talking about love and relationships. I put a link in there, but I guess you weren't able to come in there. So, August Dreams, Nicole Ali, I had sent you a link, sister, so you could come in and talk to Brother Cash with us. But it's okay. And then we got over here M. Mitch. Thank you, sister. Everybody out there, make sure you like the video. Hit the likes button. And make sure you share this video through your social media so we can get it out to as many black folks who need to know about this information. And we found out that this Brother Cash, see, it's funny how when you go out and you seek out black people that are doing business, it's funny how it's funny how they may know someone. You'd be surprised who people know. And it just so happened that this brother knows the two brothers that are responsible for creating Black Junction TV. And we're going to get them on this platform, and we're going to interview them, and we're going to let them know that we're with them because YouTube is messing with us. You saw how True Royal Family came into the chat room, and then she left, and I said, where did she go? And she came back on and said, somehow she got pulled off. There's a reason for that, and we know what that reason is. We know what it is. We know what it is. Truth is truth and lies is lies. And they're messing with us. Thank you all for being here today. That ends my stream. So it's about 3:12 p.m. in the West Coast time, which makes it about what? 6 o'clock in the East Coast, maybe 5 o'clock in the Midwest. So that's the end of my streaming for the weekend. I'm going to sit back, relax, enjoy other people's programs. Whoever has a stream coming on next, who's coming on with a stream next? Who's going to have an after party stream? I'm going to be right there to support you. Nicole, Ali, I hope you get well. Oyapo, if you're listening, get well, brother. Underrated Darkness, if you're out there, thank you. Cap, thank you. Gab Talk Media, thank you, brother. I support you. We got to do a live stream together soon, brother. Woo! Yeah. I think I got to give me a website. Everybody seems to have websites to go along with their YouTube channels and all their stuff. I got to give me a website too. I used to have one. I used to have a Ning site a long time ago. I want to thank everybody. Everybody that's listening in speaker.com, speaker.com, thank you. If you're listening, eventually when you listen on Archer, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, I want to say thank you for support. And everybody listening to Speaker, thank you. Thank you for supporting. I've got some folks looking at me and been listening out there in the Facebook Live. I'm on Facebook Live right now, streaming, and I want to thank everybody that's listening to the program. I hope you enjoyed it. So that's it for my streaming for the weekend. I'll probably come on next week and do some more programming. I definitely want to get into jobs for people. If you have a felony, if you have family members who have a felony or someone coming out of jail that has a felony, I have a long list of job opportunities for people who have felonies that they can get jobs, not just working in fast food restaurant, but they can actually get work with major companies. I know in California, you have brothers in San Quentin that are learning how to do coding. So when they get out, they can create their own computer business doing coding. So there's some things that are going on that a lot of us are not aware of. Even with brothers that are incarcerated too, they get out and they have ability to employ themselves. So that's very important. So I'm going to talk about that at some point in time, read off a list of different jobs and opportunity out there. Let me see, who else is in the chat room? I know folks are enjoying their weekend, and I think that's a beautiful thing. King Wage, thank you for being with us. Crisis, thank you. It's 6:15 in New York. 6:15 in New York, okay. 3:15 or 3:16 here in California. Beautiful sunny, it's a beautiful day too, by the way. It's been a beautiful day. So everybody, thank you. Thank you. Ice too cold. Ice too cold. Once again, I want to thank my guest, Kellen Cash, Brothers in PR. He represents you Black YouTubers. He has some very powerful things to say, to lay on us, and I really appreciate that. Once again, I want to thank him. I want to thank True Royal Family for coming in and dropping her powerful statements. It resonates in my mind. It resonates for all of us because we know that YouTube is messing with us. I can't say that anymore than that's been said. Thank you, everybody. Truth. Truth. Power. Truth. Power. Information is power, folks. Thank you. I'll be supporting people, whoever is doing streams today and tonight. I'll be in the chat rooms with all of you. Thank you. And remember, information is